Well, what I've seen is students really respond to the story, and that we keep trying the same three solutions to solve the immigration issue: guest worker programs, pathways to citizenship, and now border enforcement on steroids to the tune of $18 billion a year. But that's really done very little to permanently slow the flow of migrants. And while I believe there are many ways in which the U.S. wins because of migration, it's a complex issue. There are winners and losers, and part of the losers are the migrants themselves if you split these families apart. And I know from my own experience in an immigrant family that most people would rather live where they're from if they can, that many migrants feel forced to leave homelands that they love and all the things they love, their family, their culture. So it would be better to find a way to allow more people to stay where they'd rather be. And so I've really pushed a conversation about a third way, where we really try to formulate a foreign policy that's centered around bringing every tool we have in our toolbox to trying to improve governance, reduce corruption, reduce violence in these four countries that send 3/4 of the folks coming here unlawfully. And many students have responded to that, and readers. They have pushed for different trade policies that allow in more goods from these countries. They have pushed for greater education of girls in these places, because when you educate girls, they're more likely to put off having children until they're older, have fewer children. And of course, it's easier to feed children if you have fewer of them. If there's one thing that's really lowered migration in recent years, it's been that Mexico, for 30 years, has promoted family planning. They've gone from 7 children per family to 2 children. That has done more to work than anything else we have tried. So I believe that, you know, we can do more microloans, we can do more foreign aid. There's a whole host of things we could do to try to improve conditions in these places so people don't feel forced to leave. And students have responded. They've started microloan programs, they have built schools, they've built water systems in these countries, they've gone and built homes for single mothers on their spring break. So they've done great things. And I've also seen students very motivated to interpret this work, Enrique's journey, artistically, to bring their own element to this story. So it's been made into a play 3 times, just now in Los Angeles and twice in Colorado. It's been made into a ballet in North Carolina, a concerto performance art in Utah, in Logan, Utah. There are murals in several cities that have been painted on walls, like Balmy Alley in San Francisco, in El Paso, that are inspired by Enrique's journey. And I don't know how many paintings. I've received wooden carvings, poetry, you know, all sorts of artistic expressions that students have made that are their way of expressing Enrique's journey, or their way of expressing what their journey meant to them. And I think that's been amazing. And I think what's been also great for many Latino students is that it's prompted the first conversation many of them have had with a parent about why they came, how they came. And for many students, they say, this is something that's not discussed in my family, either because my parents worried that it was too difficult to talk about this, or those were very difficult times for them, and they sealed that part of their life off. But many students write essays with their parents about asking them, interviewing them for the first time. What is our history, and why did we come here, and how did we get here, and why am I here? So those have all been great things to see with students.